Hi there, and welcome to your fourth Google Sheets Spreadsheet Life Challenge. In this video, I will be testing your skills on conditional formatting. You can find a link to download this spreadsheet in the description below. That way you can try out every question before you watch me do it. If this sounds like fun to you, then let's get to it. For question number 1, your goal is to use conditional formatting to highlight all of the regions that include the text value of West. To pull this off, start by selecting the range of all the regions. Then go to Format and Conditional Formatting. In the panel on the right, if you don't see these options, go ahead and click on Add Another Rule. After that, change the option under Format Cells If to Text Contains. Then, in the Value or Formula box, type in the value West. Finally, change the fill color to yellow, and then click on Done. You can close out of the Conditional Format Rules panel if you want, and now you are officially finished with question number 1. Moving on to question number 2, your goal is to recreate the heat map you see below by adding conditional formatting to the sales numbers above. To pull this off, start by selecting all of the sales numbers. Then go to Format and Conditional Formatting. And in the panel on the right, select the Color Scale option. Now you want the higher values to have more color and the lower values to be closer to white. So under Preview, change the color scale to white to green. After that, you can click on Done, and you are now finished with question number 2. Awesome. Let's go ahead and move on to question number 3. For question number 3, you must use conditional formatting to highlight in green all of the actual sales numbers that exceed their corresponding target sales number. So to begin, go ahead and select all of the actual sales numbers. After that, go to Format and Conditional Formatting. In the panel on the right, look under Format Cells If, and change the option to greater than. Now, in the formula box, enter the formula equals $C4. Now let's take a closer look at this formula. The equals sign signals to Google Sheets that we have a formula here and not a text value or number. And then after the equals sign, we've got a $, the column letter C, and then the row number 4. Now why C4? We insert the reference of C4 here because you always write your conditional formatting formula from the perspective of the top left cell of your selected range. In this case, that is cell D4, and we want cell D4 to reference the value in cell C4. Now what about the $? The $sign locks the column letter part of the reference in place. And that's because we want all of the cells in our selected range to reference values in column C. Now there is no $sign in front of the row number, and so this part of the reference is relative. This means that the row number will change for each cell in our selected range. For example, cell D4 will look to cell C4 to determine its conditional formatting, and cell D6 will look to cell C6 for its conditional formatting. And this is why we write the reference in this way. We want the row number to change and the column letter to stay the same. And now that we've got that out of the way, you can go ahead and click on Done. And that officially completes question number 3. Moving on to the final question, your task is to highlight in green the entire row for the sales agent with the highest total sales using conditional formatting. Now in this case, you want to apply the formatting to all 3 columns of the data and not just the total sales column. So you want to be sure to select the full range of data. After that, go to Format and then Conditional Formatting. In the panel on the right, under where it says Format Cells If, select Custom Formula Is. Now for the formula, enter in equals $D4 equals max function $D $4 $D $11, and close parentheses. Now what's going on here? The first equals in this formula simply tells Google Sheets that this is a formula and not a value. After that, the formula references the cell value in cell D4. Now there is a $sign in front of the column letter, so this part of the reference will stay the same for each selected cell. But there is not a $sign in front of the row number, so this part of the reference will change with each row of the selected data. Then we have the second equal sign, which is used as a comparison operator. And finally, we've got the max function, which calculates the maximum value among all of the total sales numbers within the range D4 through D11. And you can see that the $signs in this reference make this full reference an absolute reference, so it will be the same for each cell in the selected range. In simple terms, this formula looks at the total sales number for each respective row and compares that number to the maximum or highest total sales number among all of them. Therefore, the row that contains the highest total sales number will have a conditional formatting formula that evaluates to true, and all of the other rows will have a conditional formatting formula that evaluates to false. That being said, you can click on Done, and that officially completes question number 4. How cool is that? So tell me, how did it go? Did you find this to be pretty easy, or was it rather difficult? Let me know in the comments below. I would really love to hear what you have to say. That being said, if you feel like you got some value out of this video, or you had a ton of fun, I highly encourage you to like and subscribe. That being said, thank you so much for challenging yourself and watching throughout this entire video. Until next time, I will see you in the next Spreadsheet Life video.